Welcome to 5-Minute Reviews, and today Hillary is looking at the brand new Sony 40mm f2.5 G lens. Did I get that right?
Yes. It's an f2.5G. Yep.
So tell us about this lens. Like, what's so different about it?
Actually, it looks identical to two other lenses that were launched at the same time, a 40mm and a 24mm. It's really small. It's a very compact and more of a budget-friendly lens.
So talk to us ergonomically. Like, this thing has an aperture ring, right? Which is sort of weird for a G lens.
Yeah, it has an aperture ring right here. It's thinner than your focus ring, so it's easy to tell them apart when you have, the camera up to your eye. Other than that, it's got just your autofocus and manual focus switch and a autofocus lock button right here. And there is actually a D-click ring. I almost forget about it because it's actually hiding like right here, tucked between the lens and the grip. But you can turn it click on or off for the aperture.
And the aperture ring also has like an A mode, just in case you want to set the aperture through the camera instead, right?
Correct.
Okay, so this is a G lens again. So build quality wise, like we can usually expect a little bit of weather sealing, but nothing like the G Master lenses. Is that what you experienced?
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't feel like a budget lens. It's made from aluminum. It's really light and small, but it doesn't feel too cheap.
Speaking of cheap, like what's the price tag on this? Do you remember?
It's about $600.
Feels like a $600 lens?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's important.
No, it does. Yeah, it doesn't feel like your $200 or $300 lenses that might feel a little bit more plasticky. It does feel like a $600 lens, I think.
So what are you testing it on?
I am working with the A7R4.
So autofocus performance wise, like I know that other testers for the site have had a couple problems with autofocus with that camera. Have you found anything to be sort of suspect with the autofocus and that lens on that camera?
This lens actually did a little bit better than the 50mm lens that they launched at the same time. When I was doing a portrait at a walking pace, about 15% of my photos were soft. Stationary subjects, less than 7% of those were soft. So the autofocus was pretty good.
Talk to us about the lighting conditions that those were in. You were backlighting, front lighting. What was happening?
Mostly backlit. The photos that I did testing the continuous autofocus walking were backlit at golden hour.
So again, the 40 did slightly better than the 50.
Yes. It also focuses a little bit closer to the front of the lens, I think, and I think that's a little bit part of that difference.
I guess that means that one potentially has better bokeh than the 50? Like, I don't know, because the 50 is a longer focal length,
Yeah, it's really hard to say. This one will focus closer, but the 50 looks closer, without actually physically getting closer. So that's really tough to say.
So talk to us about image quality. Like Sony's lenses, at least in me and Brett's opinions, usually have like a little bit too much extra sharpness. It almost looks like it's manufactured within the camera. But what are you feeling?
I feel like you'll definitely get detail down to the pore level if you're using this for portraits. So it is definitely very sharp and very detailed. And at times it did feel a little bit too sharp. The corners are a little bit softer, but yeah, that center is really sharp.
All right. Well, in 15 seconds, what are your overall thoughts on this lens?
For $600, I really like it. If this was a $1,200 lens, I'd walk away for sure. But, it's got a lot of sharpness. It's great for travel. And the image quality is pretty good.
All right. Thanks a lot, Hillary.